Hello, this web seminar takes a close look at how IT services should operate and whether there is a better way to manage your IT for the benefit of your business. In this section, the panel begins by discussing a study which found that many small businesses are falling behind the competition. My colleague Robin Amlo put the findings of the report to the panel.
Many small businesses feel they're falling behind the competition. Certainly that's the conclusion of a report published by the Centre for Future Studies. Reviewing the key IT skills challenges facing SMEs, among the report's findings were: SMEs are missing out on the opportunities offered by technology. Being small is not a disadvantage if your IT capabilities are right. Technology skills, services and products are critical to growth and success, as well as ensuring swift and competent customer service. Owner-managers are failing to implement IT solutions because they lack the necessary IT skill set. So just how can business address those challenges? Simon, if I could ask that of you first.
Well, I think it's important that businesses have the IT infrastructure they actually need. It's a great enabler for them. It's a way of them being competitive in the marketplace, and that can manifest itself as getting more efficient at doing stuff. But it's also about dealing with their customers and making sure that they've got the right channels to market. So it's a way of differentiating themselves in a very tough marketplace where most small businesses find themselves.
In our research that we've done in the SME market, we know that owner managers do see this as a very important area, but it's one where they don't feel they've got very much time to dedicate to it. So in our research, somewhere between 1.5% and 5% of their time. So they haven't got a lot of time, and also they haven't got a lot of resource. So in some small and medium enterprises, it tends to be the owner-manager or one other person who has a degree of IT expertise, but it's not the main focus of their job. It tends to be those people who are taking the decisions. So it's difficult for them to give it the priority in terms of time and resource that it needs.
You say it's difficult for them to give the priority it needs, but how important is it then to a business to get its IT services right?
Well, absolutely. Fundamentally, as Simon was saying, IT is the enabler, and IT services help businesses become more efficient, so help them meet the requirements of their customers and suppliers. But the issue that we have is that currently they don't have the resource to deal with that.
Obviously, less downtime, Simon, is going to mean more productivity.
Yeah, I think it's at the very time the owner-manager needs his IT to be working for him is when he's as busy running his business. So it's really difficult balance for these guys to manage both the expanding business and find a solution for their IT needs, which are important in generating the business that they need.
And we have the perennial issue of viruses, computer security, don't we, as well?
Yeah, when we look at we've talked to SMEs about the IT issues that are at the forefront of their minds currently, and certainly some of the ones that they talk about most are things like viruses and spam and so on and so forth. But those are the kind of day-to-day inconveniences that problems with your IT services might cause. But part of the longer term issues, and perhaps the more critical ones, are around security of your data and backup, so that if something seriously goes wrong, all your business critical data is not going to be lost.
What you're talking about is business continuity, and of course business continuity, a key issue, and in fact a major disruption could put a company out of business completely, couldn't it?
Absolutely. A classic example is a customer that we've only recently been talking to, who we had managed to sell a backup solution to them. So all of their business critical data was backed up off-site, and thankfully they did that just before they had a major fire in their premises, which meant that not only was their business knocked out in terms of production, but all of that customer data, supplier lists, financial information had been lost. But thankfully they had a backup, which meant that they could recover that. If they hadn't been able to do that, their business could have gone out of business. So it really is fundamental.
And have you got some numbers about the level of businesses who see this as a key issue? Well,
we know from talking to businesses that people are generally aware, but whether they've actually been able to do anything concrete to address that issue is more pertinent. So we know that larger businesses tend to be more have made more contingency plans, but down at the small and medium level, we know that perhaps only 40% of businesses have made a recovery plan in that kind of instance. So it's a big risk.
It's about the customers managing that risk, because as their business grows, they become more and more reliable on their IT. It's at the very heart of what they do. When they start, it's maybe just standalone PCs operating spreadsheets. But as they start to have customer data on there, their order processing system runs on their stock, a whole variety of really business-critical issues, then they need to make sure that they have the resilience against big disasters and resilience against the sort of day-to-day maintenance issues that could easily interfere with the way they do business.
Well, there's a significant cost in not getting the right IT services package for a business, not just though in what you might lose if things do go wrong, but in what you could pay to put things right. Computing Which, the Consumers Association's computing magazine, carried out an investigation into PC repair shops that misdiagnosed simple faults and overcharged outrageously for poor advice. Charges ranged from £10 up to £139 to fix a loose cable, and from £20 to £260 to correct a simple software problem. So you can see the water is definitely shark infested. So how can I, if I'm an SME manager who probably knows his way around a spreadsheet, and I can switch the computer on and off, but how can I be sure, Simon, that I'm going to get value for money?
Yeah, the absolute question is about choosing the right supplier, choosing one that you trust, you're able to work with, is there for you, and that isn't just simply on the end of a phone, but it is also there if you need them on site, and also choosing a partner, because that's what it become, the sort of business who will be with you, for the long term. So here today and tomorrow as well, and that continuity and understanding of your complete IT environment is really important.
I think there's also another issue about the ability to predict cost, because obviously value for money isn't just a one-off payment that you feel it provides you with good value for money, but it's ongoing costs that can recur in your IT services. So, for example, if you can, we know from talking to SMEs that predictability of spend is obviously quite important to them. So having a supplier that can give you that certainty as to how much you will be paying for services is really important too.
If you'd like to know more about managing your business IT more effectively, then please watch the whole web seminar or click on another one of the subject tabs below. Or if you'd like to talk to someone about your IT issues, then drop BT an email at webseminars@bt.com.